Hello and welcome to or back to my channel. I'm Kit, your friendly feminist cat lady spinster, and today we are going to talk about pansexuality. Before we get into the video, just some quick housekeeping. I have timestamps in the description box below if you'd like to get right into the video. If you like this video, please like and leave a comment. If you dislike this video, please dislike and leave a comment. Any engagement is good engagement to the algorithm. If you enjoy my channel, please subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I'm so glad you're here. My social media is linked below. I'm Candidly Kit on Twitter and Instagram. I also have a Patreon now. If you really like my content, please think about becoming a patron. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to do none of the above, that's totally fine. And now, let's get back to the video. So I suppose it's more accurate to say we're looking at Matt Walsh being confused by pansexuality, but a subscriber showed me this video, and being pansexual myself, I thought I would have a look. Matt Walsh is low-hanging fruit, but you know, sometimes not all videos can be super serious and lengthy, so I thought I would just do a little commentary on Matt Walsh's fake confusion. Anyway, I should maybe warn that I'm a little sarcastic and maybe a little sassy, not terribly nice and understanding in this video. So there is your warning. And now let's get into the video.
So as you know, LGBT people are very oppressed, so incredibly oppressed and persecuted in this country.
Wow. Going for distasteful and disrespectful right in the beginning. There is no way that Matt is unaware of the laws being introduced around this country to make the lives of people in the LGBTQ+ community more difficult. And there is also no way that he is unaware of the people in this country that think it should be legal to kill anyone who is not straight and cis.
But at the same time, the LGBT acronym keeps expanding because people are so desperate to invent some new LGBT identities so that they could be a part of the club, so that they could be, involved as well, or to bolster their resume within the club.
I don't usually swear, but this man is full of shit. And I don't understand why he has an audience.
They'll make up new identities to be a part of it. See, I've never heard of an oppressed group that functions exactly like that. Like, can you think of any historical example of a group that's persecuted, and meanwhile, people who aren't in the persecuted group are actually pretending to be in it just to get themselves a dose of that sweet persecution?
You mean like American Christians?
I can't think of any example of that historically. I don't think so. This is unprecedented. And the other possible explanation is that LGBT people aren't persecuted at all, so I'll let you determine. Anyway, as part of this expansion, we now have something called pansexuality.
Has he been living under a rock? Pansexuality is not new.
And pansexuality is a really sought-after identity these days.
Nice. Trying to further the idea that being gay or trans, anything that's not normal like straight and cis, is something that one simply turns on and off on a whim.
It's one of the newest things, hot off the presses. People are really into it. Celebrities are coming out as pansexual, left and right. Everyone is pansexual all of a sudden.
We're like the same age, but he seems so much older, and not in a good way.
So that raises a question, which is, what the hell is a pansexual? Well, a pansexual, as far as I understand it, is someone who's attracted to either sex. But isn't that same as a bisexual? Well, you might think so, but apparently not. We're called these different things. How are they different? What's the distinction? Well, to answer that question, I think we have to go back to consult the wise sages of TikTok, who are experts on many things, but especially on all sexual matters.
I'm just thinking, can you imagine adults using their platforms to make fun of teenagers on MySpace, LiveJournal, Tumblr?
And we've got a few videos here kind of explaining what pansexuality is and how it's different from bisexuality. And I thought this was just it's a good learning opportunity for all of us.
That's not why you're here. You want to mock.
So let's start watching the videos.
Bi versus pan in 30 seconds or less. Bisexuality is the ability to feel emotionally, physically, or even sexually attracted to more than one gender. This can be 2, 4, 6, 8, or even all of them. This can be with or without a preference. Pansexuality is the ability to feel attraction regardless of someone's gender or sex or gender expression. Also explained as the ability to feel attraction to all genders without a preference. Look, I made you a chart.
What? Okay, so they're literally just the same thing. Am I having a seizure or something? Or didn't she just repeat herself? It's exactly the same thing. Sorry, wait, no. Bi is the ability to be attracted to anyone of any gender, and pan is the ability to be attracted to anyone regardless of gender. I think that's the distinction she made. You see it? You see the distinction? Me neither. I don't see it either, because there isn't one.
I was going to ask why he cares, and then I remembered he doesn't. He's just here to make his audience feel better.
It's just two words for the same thing. And there's a lot of that in the LGBTQ XYZ acronym, a lot of the same thing repeating over and over again. Same for the 192 genders. It's just sort of like the same thing over and over again, because in reality, there are only two. But
well, you're not going to learn anything, Matt, with your brain padlocked like that.
I don't know. Maybe she just did a bad job of explaining it. So let's watch another one.
Pansexual and bisexual are the same thing. You just gotta get over these years of,
I gotta get over my years of internalized biphobia.
I was bi for literally 3 years until I realized that I'm pan. If you don't know, this video is directed at me. So hey, babe, thanks for even more clap than I already. Also, the likes to comment ratio already. Amazing. Let me explain bisexuality, pansexuality, because you obviously need a lesson. Bisexuality versus pansexuality for dummies. Here we go. Bisexuality. Oh, I think that girl's attractive. Oh, I think that guy's attractive. Oh, I think that non-binary person's attractive. Pansexuality. Oh, I think that person's attractive. Oh, they're a girl. Okay. Oh, I think that person's attractive. Oh, they're non-binary. Okay. Oh, I think that person's attractive. Oh, they're a guy. Okay. Do you get it? Bisexuality, attraction to more than one gender. Pansexuality, attraction to anyone, regardless of gender. It's mainly feelings-based and personality-based. Thanks for panphobia. Thank you.
First of all, what is on TikTok with the cackling they're always doing? These girls on TikTok. I don't know the assumptions, but these girls on TikTok, they're always cackling. I'm not sure what that is exactly. And why do they always edit the video so that it cuts out the last word they said before the end? But anyway, panphobia, she says. Yes, we have panphobia now. There are people out there who have a phobia of pansexuals, apparently.
I think that was directed at the person she was responding to, but okay, if you want to take it super serious.
I mean, sure, yeah, I run into this thing all the time. Haven't we all seen people running through the streets? Oh no, the pansexuals are coming. It's a pansexual. On second thought, I haven't run into that at all because nobody can have a phobia of pansexuals because that's a made-up thing. It's like being afraid of a pansexual is like being afraid of Peter Pan. It's an imaginary thing. Well, let's keep going here. Maybe we could find a video that makes sense of all of this.
So does he think homophobia isn't real, or?
And I'm already just looking at the image here, and I feel like this is a person who can illuminate and enlighten us all. Let's watch.
Guess what? My patience is run out. Pansexuality is not inherently biphobic. They are both valid sexualities. Both of them. And while yes, I have seen pansexual people use that label for questionable reasons, they pretty quickly get it once you explain things to them. They do. And not only that, but you know who likes to use specific or micro labels? Neurodivergent people. Sometimes we just have to do whatever we can to feel safe and comfortable. And using a more specific label can be our outlet for that. If you took all that energy you spend calling people biphobic and saying they're performing bi erasure and just educated them, there would be less biphobia. There would be less bi erasure. Because you've explained it and people will know the difference. I've had it with you guys. Jesus.
That was a safety pin in hers, that individual's face, right? That was a safety pin? That's what I thought.
And you felt the need to mention this because?
Anyway, pansexuality is not inherently biphobic. Did you hear that? Pansexuality is not inherently biphobic. And this settles the age-old debate. I think it was in fact, Aristotle who was the first to postulate that pansexuality is not inherently biphobic. So I'm glad that we've established that. He also says that we need to, or rather, the individual, I honestly really have no idea, but this person says that we need to fight bi erasers. I'm not sure what bi eraser is. It might be the kind that erases both pencil and pen. I'm not sure. Somehow I'm just feeling more confused the more that we watch. Let's try one more to see if maybe this will finally make everything make sense for us.
What's the difference between omnisexual and pansexual? Omnisexual people like all genders, while pansexual people like people based on their personality. So yes, they both like all genders. But gender is more relevant to omnisexual people than pansexual people. Most of the time, pansexual people are blind to gender, while most of the time, omnisexual people are not blind to it. Comment any genders or sexualities you want me to explain and compare. Like for part 5.
So now we have omnisexual too. So we got bisexual, pansexual, omnisexual, all to describe people who are attracted to either gender, or regardless of gender, or inclusive of gender, or in spite of gender, or whatever. This cannot possibly get more redundant or arbitrary or absurd.
I have a crazy idea. If you don't like TikTok, stay off TikTok. Then you will not see anything to offend your delicate conservative sensibilities.
I'm demisexual. I only feel sexual attraction when I form an emotional connection. If there's no strong bond, it's not an option. Get to know me. I'm demisexual.
Yeah, you're a woman. In other words, so you want to have a strong bond with someone in order to be attracted to them. So that's just like every woman that has ever existed. You just call yourself that. That's fine too. Okay.
Matt does not seem to understand or know women very well, but it's okay. I'm here to explain it to him. So, Matt, a woman saying, I'm a woman, does not correlate to, therefore I only have sex with someone I have a close emotional bond with. The TikToker says that, but another woman might say the opposite. And also, that close emotional bond might even be outside of the bounds of a relationship. It might just be a friend. And also, men can be demisexual too. Just saying.
You know, I said I'm more confused the more that we watch these, but I'm actually not. I'm being facetious. I know exactly what's going on here. It's not confusing at all. People have defined their identity and meaning and purpose and entire personality and their existence by these sexual labels. And this is what happens when you do that. I mean, the ironic thing is that, they're trying to escape labels.
Where did any of the people shown in his video say that?
Escape what they call a rigid binary. And they can't escape it because the binary is natural. It's biological. But what they found in their flight from labels is a whole bunch of additional labels. So now they're more labeled than they've ever been, and they're arguing with each other over the finest little distinctions. And I guess they take comfort in that because it is easier to adopt a label than it is to develop a personality and find actual meaning in your life.
Wow, that is quite an assumption to make based on a 10, 20-second TikTok. That is also another way of dehumanizing someone by saying they are just their sexuality and nothing more. And also, social media shows us only a small slice of someone's life, and Matt is most definitely old enough to know that. And you know, when I was a teenager, I was also all about, not being labeled and all that fun stuff, but that is what people do. They label. So it's far better to create your own labels than to accept whatever the world wants to put on you.
Also, as we've seen in some of these videos, having a label like this gives you an excuse to dress like a character from a Tim Burton movie. There's white things in the air. And that, in the end, I think is the real point.
I seriously don't understand why this man has such a large platform, but anyway, I just wanted to do a quick, easy little video, and well, Matt is good for that. Not much critical thinking needed to view his stuff. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you next week. Bye!